Navigating the complexities of relationships can feel like traversing a tumultuous sea, with each wave bringing its own set of challenges and emotions. In this video, we delve into 10 telltale signs that a relationship may be approaching its end. From communication breakdowns to loss of respect, each point offers insight into the subtle shifts that can signal the unraveling of once close bonds. Amidst these trials, we'll uncover the nuances of human connection, exploring the delicate balance between love, longing, and the courage to embrace change. 10. Communication breakdown. When communication starts to falter in a relationship, it's like a crack slowly spreading across a once solid foundation. You and your partner may find yourselves dancing around important topics, tiptoeing to avoid confrontation, or worse, simply ignoring them altogether. Those deep, meaningful conversations that used to effortlessly flow between you now feel strained, like trying to draw water from a dry well. Every attempt to connect seems to hit a wall of misunderstanding or indifference. As you navigate this breakdown, you may feel a growing sense of frustration and isolation, longing for the connection and understanding that once defined your relationship. Yet, despite your efforts, the chasm between you only widens, leaving you both feeling lost and disconnected in a sea of unspoken words and unresolved issues. 9. Lack of intimacy. The absence of intimacy in a relationship can feel like a cold, empty void where once there was warmth and closeness. Physical touch becomes rare, and even when it does occur, it feels mechanical and devoid of passion. Emotionally, you may find yourselves drifting apart, unable to connect on a deeper level, as if there's an invisible barrier separating your hearts. The tender moments that used to bring you joy and comfort are now distant memories, replaced by a sense of longing and unmet needs. The lack of affection leaves both partners feeling unloved and disconnected, yearning for the closeness and understanding that intimacy brings. As you navigate this barren landscape, you may wonder if there's any hope of rekindling the flame that once burned so brightly between you, or if it's time to accept that the spark has faded for good. 8. Constant arguments. Constant arguments in a relationship create a toxic atmosphere where peace and understanding seem like distant dreams. What once may have been occasional disagreements now spiral into frequent clashes, leaving both partners emotionally drained and exhausted. Every attempt to resolve conflicts only seems to fan the flames, escalating tensions instead of bringing about reconciliation. Communication becomes a battlefield, with each word feeling like a weapon aimed at the other's heart. Underneath the surface, there's a sense of frustration and resentment simmering, fueling the cycle of conflict. As the arguments become more frequent, the underlying issues often remain unresolved, creating a growing sense of disillusionment and despair. In such an environment, it's challenging to nurture love and trust, leaving both partners questioning whether the relationship is worth fighting for or if it's time to walk away. Wonderful viewers, if you're enjoying what you're seeing, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up by pressing that like button below. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us keep creating content. 7. Feeling unappreciated. Feeling unappreciated in a relationship can slowly erode your sense of worth and belonging. Despite your best efforts, it seems like your contributions and sacrifices go unnoticed or unacknowledged by your partner. Whether it's taking care of household chores, supporting them through difficult times, or simply being there when they need you, your efforts seem to fall on deaf ears. The lack of recognition leaves you feeling invisible and unimportant, longing for validation and affirmation from the person you love. Attempts to express your needs or desires are met with indifference or brushed aside, further deepening the sense of disconnect and loneliness. In such circumstances, it's natural to question the foundation of the relationship and whether your partner truly values and respects you. It's essential to address these feelings openly and honestly with your partner, as unresolved resentment can poison even the strongest of bonds. 6. Trust issues. When trust in a relationship is compromised, it's as if the very foundation on which your connection was built begins to crumble beneath you. Whether it's discovering infidelity, uncovering lies, or witnessing repeated broken promises, the result is a deep-seated sense of insecurity and doubt that permeates every aspect of the relationship. The betrayal leaves you questioning not only your partner's actions, but also your own judgment and worthiness of love. every interaction becomes tinged with suspicion, and simple gestures are viewed through a lens of skepticism. Despite efforts to rebuild trust, the wounds of betrayal linger, casting a shadow over even the most genuine displays of affection. In such a fragile state, it's challenging to regain the sense of security and intimacy that once defined your relationship, leaving both partners grappling with the painful aftermath of betrayal and the daunting task of rebuilding what was lost. 5. Fantasizing about being single. Fantasizing about being single while in a relationship is like glimpsing an oasis in the desert, offering the allure of freedom and renewal amidst the parched landscape of dissatisfaction. As you drift into reverie, you envision a life unencumbered by the constraints of partnership, where your choices are solely your own and your happiness no longer hinges on another's approval or presence. Thoughts of independence and self-discovery tantalize your imagination, painting a picture of liberation from the responsibilities and compromises that come with commitment. Yet beneath the surface of these daydreams lies a deeper longing for change or escape from the perceived limitations of your current relationship. It's a signal that the allure of solitude and possibility outweighs the comfort and security of companionship, prompting introspection about the true desires and needs that lie at the heart of your romantic aspirations. 4. Feeling alone. Feeling alone in a relationship is like being adrift in a sea of solitude, surrounded by the presence of your partner yet suffocated by a profound sense of isolation. Despite their physical proximity, you find yourself emotionally distant, unable to connect on a level that satisfies your need for companionship and support. It's as if you're navigating life's challenges solo, with no one to share your triumphs or alleviate your burdens. Attempts to bridge the gap are often met with indifference or superficial gestures, leaving you feeling even more isolated and misunderstood. The absence of emotional connection leaves you yearning for the intimacy and understanding that should come naturally in a relationship, yet seems increasingly out of reach. In such solitude, you question the purpose of remaining in a partnership where you feel more alone than ever, grappling with the daunting decision of whether to continue struggling in silence or seek solace elsewhere. 3. Loss of respect. The erosion of respect in a relationship is like watching the gradual decay of a once sturdy bridge, leaving you feeling vulnerable and exposed. Over time, boundaries that were once respected are crossed without hesitation. Opinions are dismissed or belittled, and feelings are trampled upon without a second thought. Disrespectful behavior becomes the norm, creating a toxic atmosphere where hostility and contempt thrive. Each instance of disrespect chips away at the foundation of the relationship, leaving both partners feeling devalued and invalidated. Attempts to address the issue are often met with defensiveness or further disrespect, deepening the rift between you. As respect continues to dwindle, so does the hope of salvaging the connection that once held you together, leaving both partners grappling with the painful realization that the mutual admiration and consideration they once shared have been replaced by disdain and disregard. 2. Emotional distance. Emotional distance in a relationship creates an insurmountable void where once there was closeness and understanding. Despite your best efforts to connect on a deeper level, you find yourselves worlds apart, with a chasm of unspoken feelings and unmet needs stretching between you. Attempts to bridge this gap are met with resistance or indifference, leaving you feeling rejected and isolated in the presence of the person you love. Conversations become superficial, and meaningful connection feels like a distant memory. The emotional disconnection casts a shadow over every interaction, leaving both partners longing for the intimacy and understanding that once defined their relationship. As the distance between you grows, so does the sense of loneliness and longing for a connection that may feel increasingly out of reach. 1. Different life goals. Divergent long-term goals can create a rift in a relationship, pulling you and your partner in separate directions like two ships drifting apart at sea. As you envision your future, you realize that your dreams and aspirations no longer align with those of your partner. Whether it's career ambitions, desires for starting a family, or visions of where to settle down, the gap between your life trajectories becomes increasingly evident. The sense of drifting apart grows as you grapple with the realization that compromise may not bridge the divide between your differing goals. Each step forward feels like a tug of war between your individual aspirations and the shared vision you once held dear. Despite love and affection, the harsh reality sets in that staying together may mean sacrificing your own dreams or stifling your partner's aspirations, leading to a sense of disillusionment and uncertainty about the future of your relationship.